Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and the Dragonflight update of patch 10.0.5 has finally got an official release date, with this patch set to come out in less than 2 weeks, launching on January the 24th or the 25th, depending on your region. 10.0.5 is a quality of life update full of open world events, new features like the trading post, character transmog improvements, and more UI upgrades. We also have new PvP changes to improve the solo queue experience, new dragon riding accessibility additions, and quality class changes, including talent tree revamps for a handful of classes to help improve endgame viability for a number of playstyles. And this week's PTR update features even more class changes. In today's video, I wanted to go over and highlight all of the newest class updates available for testing in this week's PTR build of 10.0.5. But right before that, most of you guys watching these videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do. So let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel as well as hit the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you're looking to get regular class and content updates for all the future Dragonflight builds. First, we have new updates for the class of Druid, featuring new improvements to the spec of Feral, and few optimizations for Resto as well. Feral Druids are set to receive a variety of buffs to better support a bite-focused build, with Taste for Blood reduced down to a single point, which lets you easily grab Relentless Predator. Relentless also helps reduce your bite's energy cost down to just 15 energy, meaning that a fully empowered bite will require 30 energy to execute instead of 50, leading to far more bite uses in combat. But as Bite gets a lot more support, they don't want it to overtake the bleed and damage over time Druid playstyles, as we see buffs to talents like Rip and Tear for increased rip damage, a buff to Lunar Inspiration increasing its output by 66%, and a damage increase to Tear Open Wounds, which consumes more of the rip uptime to foster greater damage output. We also see talents like Sudden Ambush become reduced down to a singular talent point, as well as positional adjustments to talents supporting Primal Wrath playstyles in order to allow for better build freedom and talent build convenience. Restoration Druids see changes to newly added talents, which help improve the value of Nourish. The talent of Wild Synthesis will now stack up to a maximum of 3. Which means you can gain its Nourish enhancing benefits far quicker, making the ability a lot more reactionary. The talent of Forest's Flow helps extend the duration of your healing over time effects on the target by 4 seconds instead of 2. Next, we see changes for the playstyle of Brewmaster Monk. First, we see a massive reduction to a passive talent effect of Resonant Fists, decrease by 45% in overall effectiveness. Resonant Fist is a passive talent which causes monks' base auto attacks and abilities to resonate outwards, exploding in nature damage to all foes in a limited area. Currently, Resonant is responsible for a large portion of Brewmaster's overall output in AoE encounters, especially strong in Mythic Plus content. To help make up that difference, however, this damage is being transferred to the Brewmaster's basic abilities. Attacks like Keck Smash are seeing a 10% damage increase. Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, and Spinning Crane Kick see a 20% damage amp. And Breath of Fire is being bolstered by 25% in overall effectiveness. As for how this change impacts Brewmasters going forward, the early numbers suggest that this change makes very little impact in AoE encounters and a slightest DPS gain in single target boss fights. But overall though, not much is changing. But your personal play is going to have a much greater impact when it comes to maximizing your damage output. Hopefully, over the next few weeks, we may even see new builds which take advantage of these upcoming changes, which would hopefully expand Brewmaster's build variety. Next, we have a few minor additions for the Holy Paladin. First, we see the talent of Tyr's Deliverance Healing increase by 25%. This talent helps support a caster-focused healer paladin build, which so far hasn't seen much popularity, but hopefully with these changes, we may see some builds heading in that direction. We also see an adjustment to the Avengers Crusader talent, which helps support an aggressive melee healer playstyle. Since the previous 10.0.5 update, Avengers Crusader now costs holy power instead of mana, but sports a much shorter cooldown, which helps improve your uptime. This talent now consumes Divine Purpose procs, which causes your next holy power spell to be cast for free of all cost. Altogether, this does help improve the uptime of your melee wings and helps bypass its heavy resource investment as well. Next, we got updates for priests, starting with the class talent tree improvements. A new talent is being added called Sanguine Teachings, which helps increase your leech stat by 3%. This talent will share a node slot with Vampiric Embrace, which is a powerful group defensive choice for Shadow Priest, though sees very little to no use by the other specs like Holy and Discipline. The passive Leech, however, is a very desirable stat for most healers, as it allows all healing the output to also be partially duplicated on them as well, allowing for healers to focus fully on supporting the party and raid members, while collecting a portion of all outgoing healing to support themselves as well. The talent of Vampiric Embrace also gets yet another upgrade. As of now, it is being taken off of the global cooldown, which makes this ability a lot less disruptive in your rotation, and a powerful reactionary defensive choice which greatly helps improve survivability. The talent of Sinlayan, which is connected to Sanguine and Vampiric, will be able to upgrade the Sanguine Teachings, granting it 2% additional leech as well. The combat talent of Manipulation, which helps reduce the cooldown of mind games, can now trigger from spells like the Discipline Priest Power Word Solace, as well as the Shadow's basic filler of Mind Flay, which greatly improves the value that Mind Blast brings to either of those two priest playstyles. Shadow Priests are also seeing an upgrade to the passive of Psychic Link, which helps cleave all targets afflicted by the Vampiric Touch. Psychic Link will now proc from heavy-hitting single-target spells like Mind Games, Void Bolt, as well as Void Torrent, which greatly improves Priest's ability to cleave to secondary targets when used on builds focused on maximizing single-target output, which allows for a funnel-style Shadow Priest damage gameplay. Next, we have the class of Warrior, where we see the talent of Ignore Pain make an official return, sharing a talent node with Storm Wall as a potential defensive option. Similar to the Protection Warrior version, Ignore Pain helps reduce or ignore a portion of all damage taken, reducing 50% of that damage into a small shield that costs 40 rage to generate. This talent could be incredibly powerful when trying to survive unavoidable damage, commonly seen in most raid and dungeon encounters. Arms Warrior does not have the same passive self-healing or survivability options as its sister spec of Fury, and is often on a lookout from potential threats. While this talent is nowhere nearly as potent as the protection version, it does offer an alternative defensive when parrying attacks is simply not an option. Besides the defensive buff, Arms Warrior talent of Battlelord has also been upgraded, increasing the damage of Overpower by 35%, up from the original 25%, which helps empower Overpower-focused talents, promoting Overpower-focused builds. Fury Warriors are also seeing a slight upgrade as well. Both Avatar and Recklessness see their duration doubled when using the talent of Berserker's Torment, causing each bonus effect to last a total of 8 seconds. Currently, Berserker's Torment sees very little play compared to the Titan's Torment, the alternative ability that shares the same talent choice node. But the recent improvements to anger management, together with the added support between management and Ravager, it could help fuel a Recklessness Avatar Ravager focused build, which focuses on high rage generation, which allows for much greater cooldown reduction and overall buff uptime. And for now, that's going to be the full list of class changes that have been recently added to the current build of patch 10.0.5, available for testing over on the PTR. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video and hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single live stream and video, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video, or discuss with the other members of the community what do you think about the future upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.